I love you with my heart, with my soul, with every fiber of my entire being. How are you feeling right now, beautiful soul? Not how are you doing, but how are you feeling? Come into your heart and feel your body. Feel your own frequency. When was the last time you did that? When was the last time you stopped for a moment and felt your own frequency? Well, I'm sure you do it regularly because you're a conscious, enlightened human being. It's why you've tuned into this video. It's why we're connected. Now, what I wanted to do today is discuss something interesting. And it's about consciousness, because there are dangers when consciousness starts to expand too quickly. You've got the magnetics of Mother Earth that are reaching out further and further away from the planet. You've got the magnetics coming down from the sun. You've got plasma energy bombarding people all over planet Earth. Well, coming up from the Earth, from the Crystal Cathedral network, and coming down from the stars, from other planets, in from the central sun, in through the center of our sun, from other galaxies and universes. So much is taking place. We are being bombarded by high frequency energy. And whilst it's amazing and beautiful, and it's going to be the catalyst for change, it's actually causing a little bit of chaos. People's consciousnesses are being bust wide open, cracked like an egg, and there's yolk running out all over the place, and people are trying to contain it, but it's just spilling out into the world, all this yellow substance. And it's messing people up a little bit, and people don't know whether they're coming or going. You've got all of this crazy stuff happening on the planet. First of all, people believing in this crazy virus, which apparently is killing lots of people. People are believing in the vaccine, which is the savior to the virus. It's kind of like, it's the antidote, it's the remedy. You've got a staged murder, or maybe it was an actual murder, but either way, whether it was a murder or wasn't a murder, was actually staged and it was premeditated. You've got that unfolding around the planet right now, which has distracted all of the human species away from the vaccine. They've forgotten about COVID-19 and they're all focused on the protests. They're all focused on the protests and the riots right now. You've got some dude called Greg Hallett, who's appeared from nowhere, who thinks he's the next King of England. He also thinks he's Jesus Christ and King Arthur. Well, to be honest with you, he's probably on the same level as Boris Johnson. I mean, we've got Boris Johnson, who's our Prime Minister. He mumbles like crazy and can't string a sentence together. He's another part of this great big circus that's unfolding on planet Earth. So all of this high vibrational energy is coming down onto the planet, and it's making people go a little bit crazy. People don't know what to believe in. They don't know whether to believe in the coronavirus or the vaccine or the protests. People are just going stir crazy. They're believing in whatever they're being shown. And this is the problem. You've got people wearing masks. You've got kids going back to school now. And if you go into if you go and look into a playground, right, in England right now, and you watch the kids in the morning, they're all spaced out 2 meters apart, and the school teachers are trying to tell the kids that they can't go near each other. I mean, this is insane. This is insane. But remember, the children are slaves. The parents are slaves, the school teachers are slaves, the agents of the state are slaves, even Boris Johnson is a slave. Even this new dude, Greg Hallett, if he ended up becoming king, he'd be a slave too. They're all just slaves and pawns in this great big game. And there's us lot roaming around this green and blue ball, trying to figure it all out. But all we're doing is getting a little bit more lost. What we've got to do is understand, or understand, that if we want to change something, we can't focus on the old. We can't put our hopes in some archetypal figure like Jesus or some extraterrestrial. They ain't coming down to save us. No, that is not going to happen. If we want to make some change, if we want to invoke real, substantial, long-lasting change, we've got to come together as a human family, dive into our hearts, unlock our divine inner sovereign wisdom, and we've got to march together into a new golden age. We must create it. We can't put our hope in someone else. Hoping's for gamblers anyway. Hope shouldn't even be in the English dictionary. Hope is a word that should be cast aside as a sin. Hope? What does it mean anyway? We're talking on a different level. We're talking about knowing and trust. When you know who you are, no one can tell you what to do. When you know who you are, you don't go into fear about some kind of rule or regulation that's trying to be enforced by some other person or some other government or some other corporation. Nothing phases you because you know who you are. You know you ain't getting a vaccine. You know that COVID-19 is just a big hoax. You know that life is actually beautiful. You start to realize that there's magic everywhere. Everywhere. And you stop buying into the illusion. But this high frequency energy that is bombarding the planet is making people go a little bit crazy. It's busting people open from the inside out. And the beautiful thing is, people are starting to realize and wake up because they're starting to see the chaos in this great big circus. And that is beautiful. And whilst you have all of this madness unfolding on one side of the coin, you also have the other side of the coin, which people are starting to become aware of. Whereas for most people, it was a 2D template. Not even a 3D template. It was flat. Flat as a pancake. They were seeing it from a 2D perspective. And there was no other paradigms available. But now, with all of this chaos, it's like consciousness has been splintered and shattered all over this worldly environment. Our planetary home, and people are starting to see the wood through the trees. They're starting to wake up and realize that the vibrational rate of this planet is changing, that their own frequency is changing, and they can't even buy into the news, they can't even buy into the madness because it just doesn't feel right. And the important thing to remember, as this plasma energy hits our planet, frequency doesn't lie. You cannot pull the wool over the eyes of frequency. Frequency is the true test. Frequency is the maker, the creator. It's up, down, left, right, in, out. It's everything. Okay? You cannot lie to someone when they feel your frequency, because frequency doesn't lie. If you come into my space and you try and show me a whole heap of bullshit, I'm going to feel your frequency and I'm going to know that it's bullshit. And the same vice versa, if I come into your space and I feed you with a load of bullshit, you're going to know that I'm feeding you with bullshit, because you're going to feel the frequency. And all of this energy, this high frequency energy that's hitting our planet, is helping people feel. It's helping people feel into their own hearts, into their own divine wisdom, and know that something's not right. And once people start to question, they go on a journey. And that journey unfolds and unfolds and unfolds. And once the truth is out the bag, you can't stick it back in. And this is happening more and more. Soon, the energy on this planet is going to be so high that all of this old stuff's just going to fall away. I'm focused on a world where there's no contracts. I'm focused on a world where we speak to each other and we do deals based on our words, because our word is our bond. I'm focused on a world where there's love, where there's healthy foods to eat, where everybody's healthy, where they don't need a doctor or nurse because their vibration and their immune system is functioning at full capacity. So they just self-heal. And this is the way that we were designed to be and to live and to expand throughout this world. We don't need all of this madness. Anyway, you're an amazing being. And I love you with my heart, with my soul, with every fiber of my entire being. Get out and hug a few more trees. Get out and talk to a few trees. Go and talk to the fairies, the angels, the unicorns. You have a much better conversation than speaking to another human being. They'll be honest with you, man. And I'm not saying that human beings aren't honest. There's lots that are. But there's a lot that aren't. And there's a lot that aren't because they don't know the truth, because they've not discovered their own divine wisdom. So go out and speak to some trees, man, or a few squirrels, or maybe a badger or a fox. Life is beautiful and you are magical, and I love you, baby. Wherever you are on this planet, go out and hug fiercely, hug tightly, never be the first to let go, love fiercely and ferociously. And open this. Honestly, if you open this, you'll be surprised at some of the magical things that take place in your life. You'll realise that that old Greg Hallett isn't the next King of England. You'll realise that Boris Johnson isn't actually Boris Johnson. He's a clone. Anyway, go and have fun. Laugh your socks off and see life for what it is. It's just a joke. It really is just a joke, and it's a game, and you're supposed to have fun. So go and have fun, and I'll see you again real soon, beautiful soul. Remember to check out our website, starmagichealing.com. One love, one heart, one human family. Peace out.